Welcome to our Catherine Gates fourth grade family and our back to school night presentation. Hi, I'm Corinne Crawford, and I'll just like to start by telling you a little bit about myself. This is my 17th year teaching. I've been lucky enough to teach all 17 years here at Catherine Gates. I started my career as an RSP teacher, and I did that for my first 8 years, and I've taught fourth grade ever since then. I grew up in Lincoln and I still live in Lincoln. I did move away for a bit to go to college. I went to UC Santa Cruz. I lived there for a while and then lived in Sacramento while I came home and got my first job at Hewlett Packard. And then I was volunteering at Hewlett Packard actually. Volunteering through Hewlett Packard at a school. And that's where I realized that teaching really was my jam. So I went back to Sac State and got my credential and ended up finding myself back in Lincoln. We live in the country. My daughter and my husband and I are in this photo. We have goats and a horse and chickens and the whole shebang. We'll start off with some basic school information that you're probably already aware of. Our school starts at 7:45. Students can arrive at 7:30, as early as 7:30. We don't have before school recess. You might have noticed that fourth graders come right into the classroom each day. They come in through the big loop and then the cafeteria, and then they come out on through to the classroom. Wednesdays are minimum days. Dismissal, like today, is at 12:48 on those days. So at dismissal, we're all walking out as a class together, and then I leave some students at Adventure Club at the outdoor stage. Students meeting siblings go to their youngest sibling's lineup spot. Students who are walking or meeting someone come with me through the multi and go out there right by the front gate. And if anyone's waiting for a ride, they wait in the multi or the cafeteria, and then we communicate as you pull in the loop. Hopefully you received this week a placard with your student's name that you can just easily put in the front dashboard of your car so we can see it clearly when you come into the loop. Our goal is to make it safe and efficient. A little bit about food and restroom use. So we are serving breakfast at school 7:25. Breakfast is free. So your student can come at 7:25 and go right into the multi. And then they'll need to stay there until 7:30 at least. And then they can come into the classroom. Lunch each day except Wednesday is at 12:20. And on Wednesdays it's at 12 o'clock. Lunch is also free to all students. I ask students to bring a healthy snack. Now, if they're going into the multi for breakfast, they can bring something from breakfast in their backpack. They often have snack bars and things like that. They can save that for our snack recess. The purpose of our healthy snack is to give them energy and brain power for the rest of the day. So that's where the emphasis on healthy is there. Students can bring their own water bottle. We have a spot to store them in the classroom during the day. It's way easier than using the drinking fountains, especially during class time. We ask that we do not have sweet treats to celebrate birthdays, but you are always able to bring birthday goodies throughout the year. And if you need ideas for that, I'm happy to help you. And we'll also celebrate half birthdays for any kiddos with birthdays over the summer. So, restroom use. Restrooms, we love for students to use them before school, after school, during recess. I tell the kids when they leave class during class time, they're missing something. So, as we get more and more into the schedule, I will be penalizing students who go to the restroom more than one time per week. So, if your student needs special accommodations, please send me an email and I'm happy to make those without making anyone uncomfortable. Homework. You should have seen homework starting this week. You'll see it nightly. It's due the next morning, so it's mostly math so far, but next week we'll be adding reading. I'm asking students to read 20 minutes or more each night. So far you've seen them come home with their math workbook, and then they also have a fourth grade planner, our generous PTC purchase planners for all fourth and fifth graders. So they should be bringing the homework workbook and the planner home each night and then returning it to school the next day. Homework is checked each morning. I do jump around in the homework workbook for math, so that's why we don't tear out the pages, because I might assign the front one day and the backside a few days later. You'll also see Friday folders, so you should have seen this come last Friday, came home for the first time. If some I know some students brought them back today or this week, rather having been signed, not having been signed. So here's a picture of what you're looking for, the Friday folder, and then the red photo on the right is the weekly report. And that's a way for us to communicate homework completion, behavior in class, participation, and you and I can exchange comments or notes on this weekly report. So the student brings all of this home on Friday, and then it's their job to have you review the weekly report and sign it and complete anything else that needs to be completed or signed and returned. You can keep all of the completed papers at home, and then the student should bring their Friday folder and weekly report back on Monday. School supplies. I have school supply list. It seems like most kiddos have brought what they need, but if you still need a school supply list, I have hard copies here tonight. But if you would like a copy by email, let me know and I'll do that. This is just an overview of the curriculum and things that we'll be studying in the fourth grade. So in math, at this point in their education, your students have learned all of the operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So now we're going to put those foundations to work, and we'll be doing some more challenging things like multi-digit multiplication and long division. So those basic math facts are going to be so important. So pull those flashcards back out if you're a fourth grader still working on memorizing those. We'll also be working on them in class with extra math, and I'll be sending something home on Friday in Friday folders with information on how they can access that from home. We'll be reading some class novels as well as using our district curriculum. For writing is fun. We do a writer's workshop. Kids get to really be their author, choosing their topics, and applying what they learn to their own writing. Social studies is my favorite for fourth grade. We are all focused on California history, geography, California natives, missions, Settlers Fort, and Gold Rush are all so important to California. And my favorite thing about it is we can visit so many of these sites throughout the year. Science will be using Discovery Education, which was actually created by the same people who created the Discovery Channel. So it's fun and interactive. And then we'll be continuing to practice and learn some social skills through our second step curriculum, just making sure that everyone is happy and feeling safe. I mentioned earlier loving to travel to see the places relevant to California history. We have Sutter's Fort is the one field trip that we've already booked. Was coming February 2nd, 6th, excuse me. We're trying to have the Maidu Museum and Historic Site field trip this winter. It's a third grade field trip in general, but they haven't done it for the last 2 years. So we were thinking it'd be great for our students to get to experience that. We're working on booking a trip to Coloma to see where gold was discovered. And then in years past, we've enjoyed a visit to the Blue Line Gallery in the spring, which we're hoping to do again. So communication and connecting with you is most important. It'd be great. The first form and best form of communication is email. And so you see my email here. If your student's going to be absent, you can send me an email. I'll share that with the front office, but you can also call the absence hotline to let them know. We've talked about the Friday folder already. If you need to talk to me or want to meet in person or via Zoom, I'm happy to do all of those things. The best way for us to schedule that is via email. It's our district policy that we respond to emails from parents within 24 hours. So if you've emailed me and you don't hear back, that means your email has been lost in my inbox. So please don't hesitate to email me again to follow up. This year, we'll be looking for some parent volunteers, having chances for you to come into the classroom. If you're working with kids, you'll need to complete the Category 2 volunteer process. If you've done that in years past, there's no need to do it again. Um, I'll be looking for someone to help make copies in the workroom and prep things, a room parent to plan class events and celebrations, an art docent, and as the trips come closer, I'll be asking for field trip chaperones. I also have a little survey, the Parents as Partners survey, that I'd love for you to fill out. I have a hard copy here. I'll have a hard copy here tonight, but I'll also send a link with this slide so that you can do that digitally as well. It just helps me get to know what's worked, what hasn't worked. I feel like you're an expert. You're the expert on your child. So I love to tap into that so I can get to know them better. Donations. We have the chance to have Accelerated Reader again this year. Our school no longer pays for it, the district doesn't fund it, but our PTC is supplementing the cost. So we are left with a small cost out of pocket. So we're asking for a donation of $10 per student. I'll be sending home a reminder in Friday folders about that. And if you could donate whatever you're able to, it just helps us cover the cost. That'd be great. I also love watercolor. So if your student already has a set of watercolors here at school, that's great. I have some extra, but I always love more. We can have them on hand and share them as we need it. We'll be chewing gum and having mint in class during tests and things like long work periods. So we take donations for those. Mr. Clean erasers are the best. Dry erase pens, pencils that always disappear, wipes, and books. I love books. We have an extensive library, and I love to add to it, replace books that are damaged and read a lot. I'm particularly interested in hardback books, especially if they have a book jacket. All of those would be outstanding. So thank you so much for your time, and please feel free to email me with any questions that you have. I look forward to getting to know you and your child throughout the year.